Hey everybody, I'm Penguin Pat here, and today we're going to talk about parties. Now, some of you may already be in a clan where there are so many party invites going out, it seems like a rave 24/7. But not everyone is quite so lucky. Even though we can now enter dungeons with only 2 members in our party, Blizzard has given us a lot of reasons to use a 4-member party instead. First of all, a heavy chest was added to the end of each dungeon that drops the same set and legendary gear that the boss drops. And that means that your dungeon runs can be twice as fruitful. Second of all, a 4-man party always gives you that chance of getting that sellable gems, and those gems can be sold for platinum, and platinum can be used to buy legendary gems, and that's obviously a big deal. And finally, the difficulty of the dungeon is still scaled to a 4-player difficulty, even if you only have 2 members, which means that the monsters you're fighting have a lot more hit points, and that means it takes longer to kill with only 2 members. So if you're one of those people that's been struggling to get your parties filled, or you just want to get your parties filled faster, keep watching and I'll show you some tricks that I use to get my parties filled in a minute or less, basically every time. And no, I'm not going to tell you to start catfishing. One of the most important things for getting your party filled fast is including a party description. You'll see here that only one of the parties has a description about what they're doing. And this is kind of a big deal because people do dungeons for different reasons. If you're just trying to knock out a few dailies, you don't want to join a party that is set farming. And if you're trying to set farm, you don't want to join a party that's doing a dungeon tour and only running each dungeon once. By telling people what you're doing in your party, that makes things a lot easier and it gives people confidence to apply and join. Having a dumb party comment is just as bad as not having one at all. Heck, it could even be worse. For example, occasionally I see people label their party as spam. Who really wants to open spam? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Some kind of weird fake meat? Or does it mean if I join the party that some Arabian prince is going to offer to max out my account if I just give them my login or something? I don't know, but I can tell you this. Spam is not going to be the best way to get people to join your party. If you really want people flocking to your party, you should label it with something that'll get them excited. This is a much more exciting title than the last one. Ultimately, you want them to crack a smile when they look at the title and think, wow, I want to join that party. For example, when you see this one, what do you think? Yeah, that's right. Now that we've had a couple of ideas for how to market our party in the Party Finder, leave some comments below and let me know what works in your party finding post. The next way to make sure that your party gets filled fast is by being the type of player that people want to party up with. I am constantly getting messages of people asking to join my party or inviting me to join theirs. And it's not because I'm some gigantic giga whale or something like that. I don't even have 1,000 resonance. And it's not because I'm a famous YouTuber, because I don't even have 100 subscribers. It's because I'm a team player and people like that. Here's a couple of quick tips for how to be the type of player that people want to party with. First of all, be flexible with the dungeons that you run. Obviously, you're gonna want to go ahead and get your dungeons run at some point, but if you are flexible about which dungeons you run, you'll be able to get into a party easier, and then if you want to suggest your dungeon, you can do that. Just don't be pushy. The second thing is, don't leave right after you get the item or the set that you want. I've had a lot of people who will join the party and they'll run until they get the green drop and then they leave. Or they'll just run for one round and just to finish their quest or something and then leave. And even though that doesn't really bother me from the standpoint of I'm not going to blacklist the person or something, I'm definitely not knocking down their door trying to find them for a party. And if I ever see them apply for my party and there's anyone else, literally anybody at all, I'll take anybody over the person that just leaves as soon as they get what they need.
I'll meet you guys in the clearing with anybody else I find.
Another thing that you can do is to understand your role and adjust accordingly. If you are way under the combat rating that you're fighting, then adjust your spec to focus more on crowd control and buffing your party. Whereas if you are well over the combat rating, then focus on damage per second and being able to help carry the people who need assistance. And last but not least, just be a crusader, because who doesn't want a crusader in their party? This next tip is really just an extension of the last one, but it's so important that it merits its whole own section. You see, communicating well is a lot of what makes people want to be part of your party And it makes sure that people like you, because people liking you is a big part of them wanting to be in your party. If you communicate to people, like say, if you're going to need to leave soon, when it's time for you to leave, maybe they aren't so offended if you get a green and then leave because you already told them 2 runs ago that you were leaving either way. Or if you need to step away from keyboard, it's a lot less offensive if you let people know as opposed to just going AFK and not saying anything. Even things like celebrating when they get gear or not complaining when you don't get gear go a long way towards being likable and having people want to join your party or inviting you to their party if you're looking. And communicating well also includes being positive. Nobody really wants to hear how crappy your luck has been with drops unless you're joking about it and making fun of yourself. But if you're really genuinely complaining, no one really cares because everyone has the same crap luck that you do, and everyone has the same good luck you do occasionally as well. At the end of the day, it's a lot more fun to joke about having bad luck than it is bitching about it. The next trick is to be flexible with who you're willing to bring. You see, the difficulty doesn't change regardless of how many people you bring with you. So even if you're carrying someone, you're going to get better rewards than if you go with just 2 people. Plus, you never know if that person that you're carrying today is just a whale dipping their toe in the water and trying to decide if they're gonna drop 20 grand on the game or not. It's always nice when those people remember that you helped them out before they were the biggest fish in the sea. I have learned that veteran Diablo players tend to be brutally efficient with their runs and will get a little bit impatient if you are holding them up because you don't know what to do or where to go. If you're not sure what to do in any given dungeon, you can always search YouTube and look for a tutorial on that dungeon. Or you can even ask the people in your party. If you're a veteran player, then it probably doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But if you're new to the game and you're not really sure how to do some of these bosses, knowing where to stand before a boss starts shooting a beam or before it vomits lava all over your head can make all the difference between having to get rezzed and finishing a boss smoothly. One more bonus tip for the road. Now this one is probably a pretty obvious one, which is why I didn't put it up front, but it occurred to me that it still may need to be stated. And that is, you should join an active clan. It makes a really big difference if there are a lot of people active in your clan versus being in a mostly dead clan. And if they have a Discord, join that Discord. A lot of times you can get to know people better, and there will be people who are on Discord but might not be in game. And if they see that you are looking for a party and they like partying with you, they may jump on the game just to run some dungeons. And of course, there's nothing better than Discord memes. So there you have it. It's not rocket science trying to get a party filled in less than a minute, but your reputation is really important. Until we have cross-server parties, which we may never have, the way that people perceive you on the server is going to make a big difference as to how quickly they will join your party or invite you to a party. And if people generally like you, you're never going to have a problem getting a party fast. And if people think that you're a D, they're not going to want to play with you, and you're going to be stuck by yourself all the time. And you probably should look for another game because this game is made for parties, not for solos. If this video helped you to get your party filled in less than a minute, or it helped you to get lucky, please leave a comment down below and like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.